Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. I'm John, I'm your host, and you guys you're the patrons. Thank you very much. And thank you for giving me yesterday off. I needed a day off. In fact, I enjoyed it immensely. I feel recharged. Anyways, let's get down to it. Today, President Trump tweeted out there about censorship. Did he tweet? No, wait, he speeched it out there. He was talking about censorship. Censorship and talking about how we need to have fake news. Why it's important, why it has to be allowed. This idea that censorship is going on has gotten the president's attention. Now, of course, the biggest name in it has been Alex Jones, completely wiped off of YouTube, right? You're out of here, buddy. You're out of Twitter. You're out of Facebook, right? He's been censored by at least, I don't even know how many, 15 different social media platforms. And it is so egregious that what I want to tell you is if you're prepared, if you're a prepper, you need to do more. If you've got 3 months of food, you need 6. If you've got 6, you need 12. If you've got a year's worth of food, you need 2. If you've got a gun, get 2. If you've got 1,000 rounds of ammo, get 2,000 rounds of ammo. Right? If you've got a good pair of boots, get 2, because we're going to get it on when shit hits the fan. I put some thought to this on my drive that I took. You know, the reason Trump's speech, his discussion about essentially Alex Jones and the deep state, the dark state, the censoring pricks, is when Trump was campaigning, when he was just candidate Trump, he actually went on Alex Jones's show. I think he did a Hangouts or what do you call that thing when you? I don't even do it. Skyping. That's I do Hangouts, but I think he did a Skype interview, right? So it was a live video internet feed. You know, it's not like Trump was like, "Yeah, I may have heard about Alex Jones." No, he campaigned through Alex Jones. Now, what's amazing is this censorship has occurred, and this is pro-prepping censorship, right? In other words, you better fucking prep. You better get serious. Because the president campaigned with Alex Jones. Alex Jones has been censored, and the president hasn't been able to, with his pressure, with his power, to get Alex Jones back. Now, is he leaving him off? Well, at first I thought, well, you know, Trump isn't saying anything so that everyone gets pissed off, everyone gets riled up, and they demand it, and the American people rise up. Right? And then it happens, and then they cave. Well, the left-wing, mainstream media, socialist, communist pricks have not capitulated. They have not caved. They have not put Alex Jones back on. We still have all of the left-wing dipshits all over YouTube. And they're still monetized to boot. They're monetized. They're being paid for advertising, putting out extreme left-wing propaganda full of hate speech, vitriol, and stupidity. And I think they should be kicked off just for stupidity, you know. But, you know, be that as it may, this censorship is going on. And it has very, very serious socio-legal prepping ramifications. So, you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, Trump this and Trump that. Trump and the Q-sters out there is Trump's got all this power. It's, you know, when you play dead, right? It's the possum rolls over and plays dead, and so everything leaves it alone, right? It sniffs, the dog goes up, sniffs the possum, and runs off. Well, there's Alex Jones is the possum. And if he's playing dead, he's playing dead in the fast lane. And he's fucking being run over left and right. It's like, at some point, dude, you got to stop playing dead and get the fuck up. Well, I don't think he's playing dead. I think he's been run the fuck over. Run over. The left-wing, mainstream, communist, fascist media. And that's right, I call them communist fascists. And there's a specific reason for that, and I'll delve into it real fast. There's an extreme fascist out there, and his name is George Soros. Extreme fascist. He's not a government, he's an individual. And he's a multi-billionaire. But he's funding communists. He's funding communists. Why? Why would a fascist fund communists? Fascists are using the communists as tools. These social democrats, these ridiculous communists out here, they are tools of the fascist left. They love to say the fascist right. They are fucking fascist left. Okay, I've digressed enough. Now, back to censorship. This jackass, and he is a jackass out of the state of Connecticut. His name is Chris Murphy. I believe he's a senator. He might be a representative. Either way, he's a political hack. Now, he did say a couple good things, because I went and read more of his tweets. Remember, we do research. We look into people. This guy, Chris Murphy, he wants funding for supporting the Saudi Arabians' efforts to bomb the fuck out of the Yemenis, right, because they're killing civilians. He wants that stopped until they figure out what the hell is going on and why we're supporting that, right, and to find out if there's war violations going on. I'm all for that, right? If you're going to go to war, declare it. If you're going to kill people, make sure they're the enemies and not school buses and churches and shit. You know, so I'm fine with that. I'm fine with logical thinking. Do I want children and innocent people killed? Do I want illegal acts of war being committed or being funded and supported with my money? With my nation's money? No, I don't. So fine, Chris Murphy, I'm with you on that. Let's find out who the fuck we're killing before we do it. Right? Maybe I'm just a softy that way. Maybe I'm not some kind of hardline commie fascist like these fucking pricks. Anyways, this idiot, Chris Murphy, calls for more speech censorship. And this is a Town Hall article, townhall.com. Just type in Town Hall. Chris Murphy calls for more speech censorship. And that's a picture of the dipshit right there. We'll get him a close-up. That's the man right there. All right, so Chris Murphy, he doesn't call for censorship. He calls for more censorship. More, right? We have the First Amendment, free speech, unless you're directly hurting somebody. This is my opinion. This has been the opinion of courts across the land, including the Supreme Court, for centuries. Literally centuries, unless you shout, speech, fire in a crowded room, right? Unless you make prank calls to the police station, which lies and sends police in one direction, and other people could be injured by not having, right, police services, or ambulance services, or fire services, or you cause a stampede and people get injured. Right? That's bad. That's not free speech. That's hurting people. Right? And I think, fine, if you want to say that shit, you're going to get sued by everybody. You got one little gnat in here flying around, pissing me off. Alrighty, so yeah, but beyond that, as far as I'm concerned, say whatever the fuck you want. Anywhere you want. Now, good manners and decorum, they always should apply. But if you're in a place that requires good manners and proper etiquette, decorum, behavior, and you choose to ignore that requirement, you're not going to get an invitation back to the party. You're not going to be welcome. There's going to be social pressure against you because you're a dickhead, right? So you don't get to go into a ballroom and start shouting obscenities. Whoa, wait, sorry. Unless you're a Democrat and you're at some kind of left-wing Hollywood function where you get to stand up in front of God and the world and say, fuck Trump. Really? That's fine. Okay, so decorum, forget it. You can say whatever you want then. Not so. This dickhead here wants more censorship. More speech censorship. I'm going to read to you his tweet. Okay, let's start here at the top, though. In the past 2 weeks, a handful of major services... Handful is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you dipshits. God, I hate the ridiculous creative license that trained journalists use. Right? They use vagaries and ridiculous things and trying to sound creatively cool. In the past 2 weeks, a handful of major services like YouTube, Facebook, Apple, and Spotify. Forgot Twitter. That Twitter would have been a fucking handful, 5, but they list 4 after saying it's a handful. Decided to ban the conspiratorial InfoWars and Alex Jones from their platforms. Senator Chris Murphy, Democrat, Connecticut, no surprise there, applauded the move. Here is his tweet on Twitter from the twit himself. InfoWars is the tip of a giant iceberg of hate and lies that uses sites like Facebook and YouTube to tear our nation apart. These companies must do more than take down one website. The survival of our democracy depends on it. I can't tell you in those 3 fucking sentences how wrong this clown is off. And he is off. Off his fucking rocker. InfoWars is the tip of a giant iceberg? Well, I guess the mainstream media used to be the iceberg. They're not anymore. Because no one fucking watches them. Because they lie. They are the fake news. Nobody gives a shit what they have to say. Right? Commies are so busy down at the local watering hole, right, doing whatever they do, planning their silly little functions. Right? They don't watch the news anymore. Why? They already know the lies that are coming. Why bother? They're not really interested in the truth. And you can get lies, right? Very simply. Trump's an asshole. Fuck Trump. There you go. You don't even have to watch the news anymore. If you want the truth, if you want editorial and opinions, if you want reporting, fact searching, fact finding, research, you've got to go to the alternative sources. You've got to go to the alt-right if you want anything more than fuck Trump and impeach Trump. Right? So this dickhead says it's the tip of a giant iceberg. Well, he's more like the tip of a spear. Right? There's a lot behind him, a lot of kinetic energy and inertia. But Alex Jones really has done a tremendous amount of work pointing out, as they put it, conspiratorial. He's pointing out conspiracies. Right? He's talked about the UN conspiracies. He's talked about Agenda 21, other Bilderberg conspiracies. He's talked about Sandy Hook. He's talked about other actions, including 9/11. And he's brought out facts, truth, details, facts, research, experts, witnesses. I mean, it's incredible. A lot of people I talk to still do not understand that there's an organization called Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. These are people who with PhDs, right? Degrees. They're not your run-of-the-mill guys like me. They are extremely smart and good with the math. There is an organization called what? Airline pilots? Right? Aeronautical engineers and pilots or some shit for 9/11 Truth. That is, pilots have come out and said, a plane that size, that model plane, cannot fly as fast as they showed us into that building at that elevation because there is so much pressure. They're at fucking sea level. That plane cannot fly that fast without tearing its own wings off. That's why they have to rise to 35 or 40,000 feet in order to travel 500 miles an hour. Because the air is thin up there and the plane can slip through it. It's less pressure. Just something as simple as that. It's not conspiracy, it's a fucking fact. It's a fact. Why can you kick a football higher at Mile High Stadium? Because it's a mile fucking high. Right? That's why the air is thinner up there. You can't fly a plane that fast at sea level. It's not a conspiracy. It is fact. Anyways, so right off the bat, right? But he says, this Chris Murphy jackass. And he's a fucking jackass. I wish I could meet him. Or his brother. Or his dad. Or a clone. Or Chucky Chuck Schumer. Or some fucking buddy. Just meet him. Meet him! And sit down and go, now explain to me again why you believe in the most asinine political philosophy. Please explain to me the virtues of your position. And I would be nice to him. I would be polite. I wouldn't call him a fucking jackass. But I'd be polite. I can be polite. But he says, people like Alex Jones are tearing our nation apart. What a farcical position to hold. What a lie. What a nincompoop. What an ultramaroon. To quote Bugs Bunny. Who is tearing our nation apart? Those who divide it. People on the left. The Democrat fascist commies. They pit blacks against white. Rich against poor. They are the ones that push the divide and conquer politics. They are the slash and burn, scorched earth assholes. And he wants to accuse Alex Jones of tearing our nation apart? Now, I guess they can have that position since Alex Jones on a daily basis got more views than CNN, ABC, NBC, and CBS combined. Right? Nobody fucking watched those guys. Alex Jones is getting millions of hits a day. Millions a day. And these clowns would be lucky to get anywhere, half that. Literally combined. That's how big Alex Jones is. So I guess compared to them, he is a colossal iceberg of juggernauts. Right? And they believe that, well, if they're trying to tear the nation apart, Alex Jones must be doing twice the job they are. So let's go after him and punish him. Let's take him out because he's too dangerous. Now, what is interesting to me is our world, we're supposed to have, as this jackass puts it, a democracy. Democracy is self-governance. And to use loosely, you could say America is a form of democracy. It's a type of democracy. Free speech is a massive component of that. And when you control speech using government or corporate censorship, government, corporate, fascist censorship techniques, what do you get? You silence an opposing voice. If Alex Jones is wrong, if he is such a blatant dickhead and he's wrong, then there should be an anti-Alex Jones channel where they come out and they describe and take what Alex Jones says piece by piece, dismantle it, show how he's wrong, and then let the people decide whether or not they want to listen to the anti-Alex Jones channel or the Alex Jones channel or listen to the Prepared Mind channel. Right? They can choose for themselves, in other words, and that's what Trump was talking about. And he says people need to have the choice. And I always say it's not about my ability to speak. It's not my free speech as much as it is your right and my right to listen. You see, Alex Jones can talk all he wants, but I can't fucking hear him. Hello, Alex, speak louder. Where the fuck are you? I can't hear you. I can't find you. Because he has been censored. Millions of people a day no longer get to hear. That's the fucking difference. It's not about free speech as much as it's about freedom to listen. And you have the freedom to not listen. If you don't like the dumb motherfucker, then don't listen to him. And I was talking about... Sorry, man. I was talking about the mainstream media. As if you don't want to fucking listen to them, don't. Right? I don't watch them anymore. I mean, with the very few circumstances where I just want their opinions so that I can laugh about it. But Anderson Cooper, he doesn't have a right to be heard. He has a right to talk. I have the right to not turn the bastard on. If you don't want to listen to Alex Jones, don't turn him on. Right? But that's what Trump was talking about. Yet here we are with Alex Jones being silenced. This jackass and others like him are coming out and saying that our democracy depends on the ability to silence political opposition. That's what he's calling for. Silencing political opposition is required to save our democracy. Otherwise, they're going to tear us apart. Now, what is tearing us apart? People who are pitting other people against each other. I'm saying get prepped. But I'm not saying, hey, look, if you don't like Democrats, you need to go to their houses and stand out in front of them and scream and yell. And by the way, I'll have media there to take pictures of it. I want you to go shout people down. And I want you to go tell everyone how fucking stupid they are and scream it with bullhorns on every corner. I don't say shit like that because that is divisive. Right? It is. So we just have our little quiet conversations here on Patreon. They must do more than take down one website. It is absolutely illegal for them to take down his website. Right? They've taken him off of social media platforms. But this guy is so fucking stupid, he thinks they're taking down his website. Now here's the deal with this. These companies must do more than take down one website. Who are they? If his speech is full of untruths, then we will know it and stop believing it and stop listening. If he's full of hate, where is all the pro-Alex Jones, anti-something else, hate crimes that would follow hate speech? And there are now hate speech laws. So if you conduct hate speech, you can be charged with a hate crime, which to me is fucking ridiculous. It's redunculous. It is asinine hate speech because it doesn't hurt anyone. You want to know what hurts is when you reach into my pocket and take my money. Taxes, that hurts. And if I don't pay, then you send someone to my house with a gun who takes my money and my property and then throws me in jail. That fucking hurts. Making up some jokes about my heritage, you know, you're German, you're Swedish, and making fun of me. Hate, you know, I'm a straight white male, so you're gonna fucking hate me? Okay, fine. Right? It doesn't hurt me. But apparently my words can hurt others. If I say something like, I don't like the LGBTQ and I socio-political movement. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's healthy for the nation. I don't think it's healthy for young people, especially to have it show up in school and be presented by recognized authority figures as something kids should learn. That's not hate speech. That's just my opinion. But they would probably call it hate speech. Maybe they do. Fuck, I don't know. And really, I don't give a shit what they think. Because I don't hate them. I just don't want to listen to them. And I don't have to. I just push the button on off. Or change the channel. Right? But they have a right to say what they want. And I agree with Trump. They should be able to. Because what they're going to do is identify for us their ignorance. The violence inherent in their words. How dangerous they are because of what they tell their people to do. If you want to talk about hate, the National Organization of Women and feminists, they want to take away Father's Day. Father's Day. They say men. You shouldn't be celebrated as fathers. Fathers aren't needed. That sounds rude. Is that hate? I don't know. But it's an organization that is divisive. It's an organization that is tearing our nation apart by the seams because they want to destroy men. You know, men. We work pretty hard around this place. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, this is where it's going. So people say, you know, and I was watching the X22 report, and Dave is talking about how Trump is setting the left up because they're accusing him of things and he's innocent. And then over on this side over here, Hillary has actually done the same thing and guilty. So they're setting it up so that the mainstream press accuses Trump of one thing. So shouldn't they have to accuse Hillary of the same thing and cover it the same way? Well, the fucking answer is no, they're not. Because there is no Alex Jones. Because there is no right. There's no reason for them to look to the right or report news that would benefit Trump. That's what they're doing, is they're getting rid of any alternative views. They're not being prosecuted on the left. And I know there's a lot of crimes being prosecuted. I know a bunch of child molesters have been sent to jail. And sex traffickers and kidnappers. And that's fucking great. But we're not seeing Hillary and Podesta going to jail. So it's hard for me to believe that they're actually doing anything and they're going to stop these fucking people. And I'm going to get to that more in a second. They're trying to, Dave, and God bless him, he's doing the best he can, and he's got a great opinion, and it's good to listen to. But he's saying that because Trump is being accused, they're going to have to equally accuse Hillary. No, they're not. Because of censorship. Because they are dividing the country, and they're putting you and me and the rest of us deplorables in a fucking basket that they're going to drop an anchor on and sink in the harbor. That's what they think of us. There is no equality in the media, in the political system, or in the legal system. It's not going to happen. Why is that important as a prepper? Oh, by the way, Hillary Clinton's daughter, Chelsea Clinton, is what? Thinking of entering politics. Running for office. The Clinton Foundation found guilty of so many crimes, and they're not in jail. And Chelsea is involved in it. Chelsea, who has lobbied verbally for making pedophilia legal. What the fuck? Right? And these people are not going to jail. Shit like this makes it more and more apparent that we're going to come to a flashpoint, a moment in time when the war goes from an info war to a physical war. When we go from ruined economy, ruined politics, to literal scorched earth, to shit hitting the fan. I got there in 26 minutes and 35 seconds. Shit is going to hit the fan. And this jackass, whatever his name was again, he's now folded in half. He is dividing the country, and he is fomenting hatred for the right, along with everyone else on the left. I don't want them killed, the Democrats. But they want us killed. I don't want there to not be Mother's Day, but they don't want there to be a Father's Day. Right? I don't blame everyone else for all my problems, but I'm being blamed as a white, heterosexual, 48-year-old male for just about every fucking problem on the planet. When shit hits the fan, and it's going to, it's not just going to be some confused people out there, some scared people out there, some upset people out there that we've talked about in the past. Everyone's going to have that. But you can bet your ass it's going to be a lot worse than just that. Because jackholes like this Chris Murphy guy, that guy right there, jackholes like him are whipping up Democrats into a frenzy of hatred. And I'm going to give you an example, and it's a prime example. I was at work today, and a co-worker was a little tired, a little grumpy. He's a hell of a good guy as far as I'm concerned. I know him personally. I've never talked politics with him. Just a nice guy. I know him for years and years. Years, like 12 years, 13 years. That's a long time. He says, I don't know where you stand, John. I'm thinking, how the fuck can you not know where I stand? How the fuck is that possible? Anyways, John, I don't know where you stand. But I think Trump is the biggest idiot on the planet, and I don't think we've ever had a worse president. I think he needs to be impeached. I said, really? I said, well, let me tell you where I stand. I said, I don't want people telling me what to do, bothering me, or taking my money through forms of taxation. That should tell you everything there is to know about me. I.e., ergo, go read the fucking Constitution. And I don't hate the guy. I don't dislike him more. I always figured he was a Democrat-type guy. But he says Trump ought to be impeached. And I said, that's not going to happen unless the Democrats win the House and the Senate. I mean, they can impeach him with the House. You have to have that. And then you have to have the Senate on top of that. And then enough votes to, convict. Remove from office. So anyways, he hates Trump so badly that he wants him impeached. And for what, man? What did he do? Well, he's bad, and this isn't good, and that. I go, no, what did he do? Well, you know, Manafort. I said, what did Trump do? I said, did Trump illegally pay people to create phony spy intelligence paperwork and then pass it off to a secret court and use the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, as well as MI6, Mossad, and the other Five Eye asshole countries to gather more intelligence and try and get Hillary to lose the election? Is that what Trump did? Oh, no, he didn't, but that's what Hillary did. But she's fine, and Trump is an asshole. What has Trump done? What has he done? He removed the penalty for Obamacare. If Obamacare is a great deal, why should there be a penalty? Oh, you have to force people to do shit. Oh, then it's not a good deal. Right? What I'm saying is shit hits the fan is going to be politicized. It's going to make it that much worse. If you live in a heavy Democrat area, expect a knock on your door because they're going to know you're a Republican. And they're going to want to penalize you. Hell, if you're a prepper, they're going to know you've got shit that they really need. And since you're a Trump supporter, because most preppers are, you are going to be a prime target. So it's not going to be one or two scared people or a small group that is going to go after you. Oh, hell no. No. It's not going to be a small group that's going to come after me. Get another fucking thing coming if they try. It's going to be a large group. And it's not going to be, well, you know, I feel bad. I'm a Democrat and I haven't done anything, but I have to go hurt that guy and steal his sandwich from him because I don't have any food and I'm starving to death. No, they're going to feel politically inspired to go after you and every other prepper they've heard of. They're going to feel righteous indignation towards you. They're going to feel moral and legal and ethical justification for victimizing you and your group and your families and your friends and your allies around the world because they have been taught by jackholes like this, jackasses, assholes, Chris Murphy, that the right, people that have an alternative view of the very real conspiracies, you don't deserve to live. Trump hasn't done anything wrong, and he doesn't deserve to be president, even though he won in what the NSA has revealed to be a landslide victory over Hillary. Were it not for all of the cheating, lying, swindling, fraud that occurs in Democrat districts, Trump would have won the popular election by a massive landslide. Right? But they're going to, you know, he doesn't deserve to be president. He didn't earn it. You didn't earn the preps you have. Right? What I'm saying is they're going to politicize shit. It's the fan. Not the event itself, but the consequences and the encouragement of specific types of human behavior. I've talked about Antifa being out there. They're communists. They hate you. Right? I've talked about the threat of out-of-control government and shit it's the fan, where they go to extreme rule of law and they become confiscatory in nature regarding everyone else's assets and supplies. But the everyday Democrat is now virulently anti-Republican. They're virulently anti-Trump, which makes them virulently anti-prepper. Heaven forbid if Congress loses its Republican majority and we go to a Democrat majority. Heaven forbid it, because they will impeach Trump for no fucking particular reason. High crime and misdemeanor. I haven't heard anyone accuse him of a high crime and misdemeanor. But if they would impeach a president just because they have enough votes, what do you think they're going to do to you when shit hits the fan and they don't have and you do? Well, they're going to do far worse than impeach, and they're going to feel justified in doing it. So I'm telling you right now, if you've got 3 months of food, get 6. If you've got 6, get 12. If you've got a pistol, get a rifle. If you've got 2 rifles, get 2 pistols. Have ammunition, food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. Have a plan to take into account what we just threw out there and thought about. Right? I don't want anyone to be under-prepared. Now, on the backside, I'll say, look, if you've got a year's worth of food and shit hits the fan the last 3 months, guess what? You've got 9 months of food that you can eat at any time or give to your neighbors and share. Those who are less fortunate, if you are given to charitable donations, right? It's going to be extremely valuable. As we go through shit hits the fan and we get to the other side, and there's going to be hiccups, and there's going to be shortages, and there's going to be difficulties, and having that food is nothing but an insurance benefit. That's it. Or you can turn around and sell it. It'll be even more valuable after shit hits the fan because people are going to be worried. I'm sure after shit hits the fan, those who survive it, they're probably basically all going to be preppers. I'm sure government will say, no more hoarding, as they've said in the past. And I'm sure people will say, I don't give a fuck what you say, I'm going to hoard. Right? Which reminds me of a joke. This woman goes into a bank, and she plops $20,000 of cash on the counter. And she says, I would like to deposit this in my bank account. And the bank teller looks at the woman and she says, oh my God, did you hoard all that yourself? And she goes, nah, my sister hoarded half of it. Oh, I love that hoard joke. All right, I got to share a funny with you guys. Hey, I'll be back tomorrow with the weekend wrap-up, and then at high noon Pacific Standard Time, 3 o'clock Eastern, we're going to do a live broadcast where I answer your questions. So submit your questions now. Submit them to Facebook. Submit them to the preparedmind.club, where you can go get your shopping needs met. Send them over to the Prepared Mind at Facebook. That's right, they haven't taken us down yet, and we are on YouTube still over there, even though they've completely 95% fucking demonetized my ass. Oh man, it's crazy. Anyways, yeah, from where I was to where I am now, it's not enough to pay for nothing. Anyways, I'm not going to bitch about them anymore. Anyways, I'll see you Saturday, high noon. Or you can just catch the rebroadcast of it later, the saved version. So you guys be cool, and I want to thank you for sponsoring us, supporting us. Thank you for the day off. And I figured I would give you a hell of a look at what the fuck is going on with regard to censorship and prepping, and why you need to step it up. And I tell you what, I do too. I am taking this shit extremely serious, because we're into that. What is it? It's August 24th. So August, September, October, November, September. Yeah, anyways, we got less than 3 months before the election. That means the political jockeying and lying and partisan crap from the left is going to start. It already has. This is part of it. Right? They want Alex Jones and me and everyone else out of the way to the greatest extent they can, so they can start telling their lies and have no counter opinion to it. Who the fuck in their right mind wants a democracy with only one story to tell? Soviet Union had Pravda, their paper of record, which meant truth. There was nothing to oppose their truth. Of course it's the left truth, the Soviet Union's communist truth, their Pravda, and there was no other voice to be heard. How could anyone else know the truth when it wasn't allowed to be spoken? Any alternatives? That's what they want here. That's what Google, Facebook, Twitter, that's what these fuckers want, is no other voice but theirs. Including Senator Jackass Dickhead Chris Murphy. That's not hate speech, that's just the best description I can come up with for this guy. I would love to meet him. Hell, I'd even buy the bastard a beer and sit down and talk to the prick and let him know what the fuck I think. Except I bet I'd bet some big money that he wouldn't have a fucking clue what I was talking about. and he wouldn't have a clue about history and a clue about political philosophy. I guarantee he doesn't have a fucking clue about anything. But guess what? You have a clue. You're a prepper. Get prepped, because chance favors the prepared mind is yours. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.